Alright, everything is set and everything is recording. Hey, what's happening all my Dragonlings? I am your Dragon God of Gaming, Damian Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of the Gaming News, where I run down the list of all the gaming news, facts, rumors, trivia, and everything coming out of the gaming industry this week. Today, we have two things on PlayStation, one about PlayStation itself, and one about PlayStation 5. And we also have a review for Metroid Dread. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into the news. Alright, PlayStation. PlayStation is one of the biggest gaming giants. Well, duh. But, you know what I mean? PlayStation itself has been on its head lately. And with PlayStation 5 having such dismal shit going on with it, well, PlayStation's boss fucked up. And he fucked up in a large way. Now, this is coming off of Kotaku.com, and this is written by Ethan Gach? I don't know. And he writes, PlayStation boss wants change he's not willing to make. The head of PlayStation wants to expand its reach with expensive games on hard-to-get hardware. Oh boy. Yesterday, PlayStation boss Jim Ryan said he wants his company's games to one day be as prolific as music or movies. He would love to see a world where potentially hundreds of millions of people could enjoy them. It's a type of future a lot of gaming executives talk about, but one that Sony seems to have no interest in actually achieving. Ryan's remarks came during a 20-minute interview with GameIndustry.biz at GI Live, London, where, despite being billed as a keynote fireside chat, he didn't actually say a whole lot that was noteworthy. What does he think defines PlayStation, games community, and brand? What makes the PS5 so cool? The games, of course. Which one is his favorite? Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, of course. The PS5 tech showpiece you can pick up this holiday season for $70. Instead of commenting on or being asked about industry issues around crunch, accessibility, or game preservation, the most interesting thing to come out of the Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO's mouth was his wish to see a world where the games that we make at PlayStation can be enjoyed by many tens of millions of people, perhaps hundreds of millions of people. And this is the quote, I believe it is. Right now, success with the current console model, a really great PlayStation hit, you're talking 10 or 20 million people being able to play that game. We're talking about games stacking up against music. We're talking about games stacking up against movies. Music and movies, they can be enjoyed by almost limitless audiences. And I think some of the art that our studios are making is some of the finest entertainment that has been made anywhere in the world. And to kind of gate the audience for the wonderful art, wonderful entertainment that our studios are making, to gate the audience for that at 20 or 30 million frustrates me. I would love to see a world where hundreds of millions of people can enjoy those games. Yeah. If half of them wasn't being fucking bought in by one person. Anyway, it's an admirable sentiment, especially as Ryan points out, because of the implications it would have for developers and players. The hobby opening up to much wider audiences. That's potentially really amazing and really powerful, Ryan said. But also bizarrely at odds with Sony's current strategy around the PS5. The company hasn't made video game streaming a centerpiece, nor has it bet big on PS Now the way Microsoft has with Game Pass. It doesn't release many small games or mobile games, and the company really just started bringing some of the biggest blockbusters to PC, years after they originally came out. It's no fault of Sony's that a pandemic has led to manufacturing shortages and upended global supply chains. But even if you could find a PS5 in stores, it represents the high end of console gaming when compared to the Xbox Series S, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Lite. If anything, Sony appears to be doubling down on the prestige blockbuster model, investing heavily in a smaller slate of big releases, PS4 ended last generation with Marvel's Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, and The Last of Us Part 2, each of which was released to strong sales and generally critical acclaim. God of War won Game of the Year at the 2018 Game Awards. Herman Hulst, previously head of Guerrilla Games, maker of Horizon Zero Dawn, was promoted to head of Sony Worldwide Studios, and now 2022 is set to bring sequels to many of those games, with others coming not long after. It might continue to make the PS5 the coolest console in the market, but it doesn't seem like a recipe for reaching anyone not already on board. Sony's focus on exclusive blockbusters has come at the expense of niche teams and studios within the PlayStation organization, leading to higher turnover and less choice for players, reported Bloomberg in April. Instead of investing in smaller teams to pursue more experimental projects, Sony has reportedly doubled down on remakes and sequels of its most successful series. Japan studio, responsible for a range of intriguing smaller projects during the PS3 and Vita days, was downsized and reshuffled around earlier this year, and some independent developers complained over the summer that Sony can be difficult to work with compared with Microsoft and Nintendo. Which it can. Ryan spelled out the ideology at the heart of modern PlayStation in an interview with TMT Post around the same time. Players only remember best games rather than okay games. He said, if it is a best game, players may want a sequel, and they will also want to buy a sequel, but no one really cares about a game that is only okay. This line of thinking has its critics though, including from previous iterations of PlayStation. Right now, we are narrowing ourselves down into genres and sequels in certain types of games. Sean Layden, former CEO of SIE Worldwide Studios, told GameIndustry.biz in July. Favorites like my own, like Parappa and Vibe Ribbon, those things don't seem to get a chance to come out on stage. That's bad for the business and for fans. Over time, that leads to a crumbling of the games industry if we just keep talking to the same people and telling the same stories in the same way. Layden, who abruptly stepped down from Sony in 2019, a few months after Ryan took over, has recently been a critic of burgeoning development budgets, calling for companies to embrace shorter, cheaper games instead. This sentiment has also become a rallying cry for others in the industry. I want shorter games with worse graphics made by people who are paid more to work less. And I'm not kidding. Fanbyte Media's Jordan Mallory tweeted in June 2020. In August of this year, any developer entered the call with a shorter game, worse graphics bundle. Video games and the people who make them and play them have always had a chip on their shoulder about their status in the wider culture. Today, games are a $180 billion global industry. No one but internet sickos ask if they are still art, and Hollywood is just really snatching up whatever gaming IPs it can. But it's still not as ubiquitous as music or TV, especially outside of mobile and PC. The PS4 outsold the PS3 by an estimated 30 million units. The PS5 might even sell another 30 million more, but that would still put it behind the best-selling console of all time, the PS2. A console which, it could be noted, there was the most astonishing array of games of all lengths and budgets. And I do agree with that sentiment. In all honesty, games should be a little bit shorter. Games should be a lot more better. And in all honesty, for the sentiment of the gaming industry, I do feel like certain things are tossed by the wayside just for a quick buck, in all honesty. Because when you make a sequel, you already have the assets from the last game, just improve them just a little bit, and create a better narrative, some levels, and put them in place. But nobody really wants to get a chance on games that are not more well known. Like the Ratchet & Clank series is extremely well known, but even less people know about Parappa the Rapper. If you guys don't know who Parappa the Rapper is, then hey, you should look it up. It was a really cool thing. Certain things needed to be addressed, and it seems like PlayStation doesn't want to address them. They talk about it, but they don't want to be about it. You know what I mean? So, in all honesty, it's kind of upsetting. So, do I think that PlayStation has the wrong idea? Yes. Do I think that they should put themselves into the line of fire with games that are not, you know... I'm trying to think, and my mind is just going way too far. Do I think that, you know, Xbox has the right idea when it comes to gaming? Yes. Do I think PlayStation should adopt something like that? Yes. Do I think that they should put more time into, like, PlayStation Now? Yes. Do I think that they should put more effort into games that are not in part of a series at the moment? Yes. This stuff needs to happen. And PlayStation is really not doing anything about it. And that's upsetting. As a long-time PlayStation fan, it kind of upsets me that they're on the back burner when it comes to gaming innovation. And it's upsetting. And before anyone asks, just because I like PlayStation a little bit more than Xbox doesn't mean that I can't love the Xbox too. The Xbox has some really great qualities, and they have extremely well-known and well-respected games on that console. And one day I'm going to own both sets of consoles. But the problem is, at the moment, I want a PlayStation 5, and I still can't fucking get it. We'll get into that, though. Anyway. I hit the wrong button. Going from one gaming sectional that doesn't know what the hell they're doing to a game sectional that knows what the fuck it's doing. Metroid Dread. Now, this isn't a long thing, but I'm gonna be reading not the whole article because I do still have a lot to do today, and I'm gonna be sitting here for a very long freaking time if I read this entire thing. So, Metroid Dread. This is coming from Kotaku.com. This is a review, and this is written by Caroline Petit, and they write, I am now skeptical. If a game is genuinely going to conjure a sense of dread, as Metroid Dread's title seems to promise, I think it needs to be thorny and aggressive and hostile in ways I wasn't convinced the Nintendo of 2021 could deliver. Boy, was I wrong to doubt. Metroid Dread is a game with conviction. It is committed to its efforts to put you on edge, to deny you a feeling of sheer domination over your adversaries and your environments. For that, I applaud it. However, it also lacks the immersive atmospheric pull of the most beloved Metroid games. The result is a somewhat cold game that possesses a raw technical prowess I intellectually admire, but not the Metroid magic it needed to win over my heart. As Dread begins, the Galactic Federation dispatches intergalactic bounty hunter Samus Aran to the uncharted planet ZDR. The heavily armored EMMI androids that preceded her have gone silent, but the strange world may hold clues about the virulent X-parasite. Samus being immune, she's the natural choice for such a dangerous mission. As I wrote after playing about an hour of the game, Dread's beginning is wonderfully destabilizing. You'll probably find yourself stranded deep in the cavernous innards of ZDR, stripped of your powers after getting your ass handed to you by a mysterious Chozo warrior. As you communicate with your ship's computer, Adam, your mission is framed less as deal with the threat on ZDR like the badass bounty hunter you are, and more, just stay alive and make it back to your ship so we can get the hell out of here. It's a narrative setup that sets the right tone. You don't have the upper hand here, not by a long shot. In fact, you're in peril. That setup wouldn't have much weight though, if the gameplay didn't back it up. It does as relentlessly and remorselessly as the EMMI themselves, which have been transformed by some corrupting force into Terminators who will stop at nothing to capture Samus. Scattered across ZDR, the 7 robots each patrolling their own zone, and when Samus enters their turf, the tense game of cat and mouse begins. The weapons are powerless to stop them. They hunt you with speed and agility and cold precision. The movements simultaneously graceful and unsettling. If caught, you have one chance to perform a counter that stuns the robot and enables you to escape, but it's very tough to get the timing right. Fail the counter and it's game over. Thankfully, when you're captured, and you will be many times, the game shows mercy and puts you right outside the doors to the EMMI zone, so you can give it another shot. This could have been a recipe for some tiresome trial and error gameplay, but in Dread, it never becomes that. The EMMI feel alive and varied enough in their responses to your behavior that eluding them isn't just a simple case of gaming the AI. And usually when I was caught, I could see where I'd gone wrong. How I let myself be cornered rather than using the environment of my power, such as a temporary cloaking ability, to my advantage. Because EMMI are such formidable foes, the doors into their zones always filled me with a feeling of dread. Let's say apprehension. She was going to say dread. And I sometimes took a deep breath or two before venturing in to face them. The game's not all running for your life, however. You are still Samus Aran, the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy has ever seen. And naturally, you eventually turn the tables on each EMMI. First, you must find and defeat a living computer called a central unit in each of their zones. These giant brains with eyeballs are a nice bit of world building. Clearly part of the same lineage that gave birth to the series villain Mother Brain. Though the connection, refreshingly, is never explicitly spelled out. Harvesting the power of the defeated central units, you temporarily gain a blast so powerful, even the EMMI are vulnerable to it. Even then, however, defeating them remains as a tense affair. You can only charge and fire these blasts while stationary, so have to create space between you and your quarry and blast away at them while they approach you, praying that you've given yourself enough room to finish the job before they close the distance and end you once again. I excel with a relief every time I finally shot one down, knowing that I could now move through that area in relative safety. Is relative safety, though, so as the EMMI are hardly the only threat you face in Dread. Even the ordinary enemies patrolling the cave and tunnels pack a wallop. If you don't keep an eye on your health, it's easy to find yourself dying to an attack from some run-of-the-mill jobber. To keep your health up, your incentive to defeat enemies by landing melee counters right away when they attack, and then blast them to bits, which causes them to give up far more health and missiles than they would otherwise. It's clearly an effort to keep you more engaged in combat with regular enemies, but after years of gaming prompting me to counter enemies' attacks right when I see a bright flash, I no longer find it very interesting. On the contrary, I made dealing with these foes feel like a root Pavlovian process. See flash, hit button, get reward. I don't want to read this entire thing because I believe that it does go and delve into more of the bosses, and I believe that she delves into the ending as well, which I don't want to do because I do want you guys to go out and play Metroid Dread yourselves. So do I think that this game is actually going to be really good? I haven't played it yet, but I have seen some really good screenshots, some of the gameplay, and it does look extremely amazing. And based on what they said, I feel like the game is going to be really good. It's going to feel, really interactive. I really want to get in my hands on the game as well, just because of, just Samus just felt like, when you go into a Metroid game, you feel like the boss. But by what they said here, I feel like I'm getting, you would be getting dumbed down. And to be honest, that's good. Anyway, with that being said, question of the day. Would you guys be interested in playing Metroid Dread? Let me know. Anyway, going from one game on a console with really good looking stuff to a console that needs to be a little bit more on the shelves. The PlayStation 5. Oh my god, how much I've talked about this. And finally, someone's doing something about this. You guys know how I feel about, the PlayStation 5 and its scalpers. So, I'm very happy to have read this. This is coming from GameRadar.com, and this is written by Austin Wood. And they write, Japanese store fights PS5 scalpers by writing their name on the box. The store will also reportedly claim box inserts to make reselling harder. Japanese retailer Nojima Denkai is punching back at PS5 scalpers by writing the full names of any PS5 buyers on the box of their new console. Twitter user Avenko, better known as the Monster Hunter YouTuber Gaijin Hunter, translated a tweet from Japanese user Kazkun, which recently went somewhat viral among Japanese Twitter users. Nojima Denkai will write your full name on the box at time of purchase, and open and dispose of the DualSense controller box as well, Gaijin Hunter explained. In a reply to their original tweet, Kazkun clarified, according to Twitter's built-in Google Translate tool, that it seems that the name is written with both felt tip pens and ballpoint pens. In other words, once your name is written on that PS5 box, the grooves from the pen will remain even if you erase the ink itself. Meaning, your name will still be visible. This wouldn't be an issue if you just want to buy a PS5 for yourself, and even a friend or a family member. So it's kind of like blacklight tattoo that only matters if you're a scalper. Thanks to these measures, any would-be resellers will have any PS5 they purchase from Nojima Denkai permanently branded with their real name, which would presumably be verified via ID at the store. Even the most dogged resellers probably aren't keen on circulating their identity, especially now that scalpers have become so universally disliked amidst countless product shortages. So this is a pretty effective deterrent. It's definitely a more personal solution than per customer purchase limits, which scalpers have repeatedly evaded using duplicate accounts, bots, and other nefarious means. Oh my god, yes. I need more stores to do this, please. Please. This is something that people should be doing. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait, let me just see something real quick. I'm gonna go straight out to Walmart.com. And I want to see something. How much I want to bet that if I look up the PlayStation 5, it's out of stock? Oh, I see what they did. They upped the fucking price. They legitly upped the price so that people couldn't do that. Alright. Let's try GameStop. Because I want to see if they did something. Walmart did something by just upping the fucking price to an ungodly level. Yep. $459.99 sold out. $359.99 sold out. Wow. So they didn't do nothing. So people are now just buying it from GameStop, which refuses to update. I don't even think they're actually going to give me the actual console for this. No, I think that it's legit just not going to show me the actual console. Nope. I think Target just stopped selling the PlayStation 5 altogether. Yep. They're not even going to. To be honest, I can respect that. I think that store got hit with so much backlash that they're just like, nope, fuck it. But to be honest, do I think that this is the best way to stop scalpers? Yes. You need to provide your name. And actually, some stores need to stop selling it online outright. Like GameStop. Like GameStop, I need you to stop selling the PlayStation 5 online. Why? Because people are still gonna fucking dislike it. And I hope that, like, I'm just looking a little bit too deep into it and that GameStop just actually stopped selling online, listed it had sold out, and just started selling it just straight out in stores. So you have to get your ass up and go to the store and have done. But I still kind of feel like it's being disrespectful for scalpers to still be doing this fucking shit. Like, let other fucking gamers do some fucking things. You don't need to buy the cheapest fucking shit and then have us pay twice of it. Like, I'm sorry, like, legit, if I met a scalper in real life, I would kick your fucking ass. I would sit back and legit kick your fucking ass. No, not even, I'm not even kidding. Like, I will kick your ass with a godforsaken smile on my face. And I would have no quorums for doing that. I'm not a very aggressive person, but you've caused such a disarray for people that we legit hate you. And if you're a scalper and you actually get to watching this video, I legit fucking hate you. I had the money for this console nearly 3 years ago. I had it on the fucking day of the console release. The day the console released, I had the money. The minute I went to order it, sold out immediately. Waited a couple months, sold out. Never coming back in. Checked it for about another year. Nope. All because of you. Like, I will legit backhand you. Like, that's like my level of hatred for scalpers is. Like, my legit level of hatred. Like, I'm really nice person. I love being, like, one of those guys who, like, you can always get a smile from. If I know you, you'll more than likely get a smile from me. But legit, if you're a scalper, I would legit absolutely I despise you. Like, with every fiber of my being, I fucking despise you. Like, no shit. Anyway. That is it for now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. And hope everyone enjoyed another episode of the Gaming News. You guys have been wonderful. I have been having a lot of fun doing these, and to be honest, covering the new games and new releases have been amazing. It's hard to think about that. I believe we just passed the the first set of episodes for the what's it called? When we originally started this, me and Tui had the idea of doing a WWE roundup, where we cover the week's shows, pay-per-views, and all of that. And that was our whole thing. When Tui started getting a lot more busier and he couldn't be on here a lot more, I took over WWE roundup, and I continued doing it, covering all of the pay-per-views. And the funny thing is that after so long, I finally started to let the WWE roundup die, and I'm like, this I can't even cover too much of this here. I'm competing, and I'm still competing, but I'm like, I can't cover, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then cover pay-per-views as well. And then, give my distinction on the matches consistently, on a consistent basis, because it just, like, it felt off to me. And it took so long to produce and, cover, that it really wasn't something that I was interested in continue making. And then, I was like, let me do something else. Me and Tui decided after, a couple months after, not even a couple months, about like 2 months after she stopped doing the WWE Roundup with me, me and him decided that it was not even a good idea to continue the WWE Roundup. And I'm like, I'm like, we have to have something on Sundays. So I thought to myself, I'm like, gaming. What can I do to make this these Sundays a lot more better? And then me and him talked about it. And I'm like, gaming news. People want to hear about the gaming news, and people want to hear about like the latest stuff in gaming. And that's how the gaming news was born. I asked Tui if he wanted to you know, be a part of it. He actually he declined, and I was like, okay, if that's the case, I will I'll keep the gaming news, and it'll be my brainchild, because it technically this series has been my brainchild. It was my idea, and personally, I feel like, you know, we've covered so many episodes that it's just it was a lot that we covered. I covered the entire life cycle of the PlayStation 5 up to this point. And that's a long time. And I feel like I had a duty to be like, you know, to give my thoughts and say, you know, I've done so many episodes of the gaming news, and the gaming news is still going to go on. Don't think that I'm stopping the gaming news. It's not. But it may not be, you know, the highest on the on gaming news channels. I never intended it to be. I intended it to be like a fun little segment in the midst of me, Chaos, Tui, Jimmy, and all of our stuff, with you know, actual factual stuff on the consoles or gaming meta in general. And I'm like, this is what I wanted to be. I wanted to be, you know, something where I can cover gaming and give you guys, you know, facts about, you know, the gaming, you know, culture as a whole, which I have been an avid fan for, you know, decades now. So I thank you guys so much for making the gaming news one of the longest running series on the channel. I believe we have overtaken. Let me check real quick while I'm sitting here. I want to check if because I'm pretty proof positive that gaming news has overtaken WWE Roundup. 108 for the gaming news. So we have 108 videos for the gaming news. Where is WWE Roundup? Because I know we had our own thing for it. Where is it? Oh my God, we passed it by 100, by a good margin. The WWE Weekly Roundup had 29 episodes. My gaming news ran for 108, and as I'm seeing, that my series is like the longest running series. So nothing even comes close. Yeah, I'm in triple digits at the moment. Like, some of our series, like our own personal playlists. If you guys don't know, on the Visible Corporation channel, me, Chaos, Jimmy, Tui, we all have our own, you know, playlist to ourselves that, you know, culminates all of our videos. So some of ours are real up there. Mine personally has 269. But in all honesty, I have, I believe, 3 personal playlists. One is my own D-Dragon playlist. 2, the Damian Dragon Plays playlist. And the Gaming News playlist that are consistently updated every single week. Of course, we have our own, you know, you know, series that have their own playlists as well. But everything culminates in one here. So, what was my first video? WWE Weekly Roundup number 2. That was when I started. And I went to WWE WrestleMania 35 predictions. That was actually around the time when I first started on the channel. Where all the boys started on the channel. And then, yeah. We just kept on going and going and going. And we just kept just rolling with it. So, yeah. At the moment, my gaming news is one of the longest running series on the platform. So thank you guys so much. You guys have been awesome. You guys have been great. And thank you so much for being awesome. Anyway. Until next time, down in the description down below is all of our lovely and beautiful content creators. Go check them all out. They are a lovely bunch of coconuts, and I think that you guys should all go check them out. Over on my channel, if you guys don't know, right now I'm playing Stranger Things 3 the game, so go ahead and check that out. Also, every Wednesday I'm playing Pokemon X for now. Every Friday I'm playing Kingdom Hearts. Go ahead and check that out. Lovely, lovely stuff. I've been enjoying that so much. And Sundays, like today, I'm playing Mass Effect 2, and I am also playing Shinobi. In 2 hours time from the start of this episode, I will be playing Mass Effect 2 over my channel, so if you guys want to go jump over there, by all means do so. Also, if you guys want to come and see some of our stuff that me and Jimmy have been doing, which is Pokemon Coliseum, go ahead and check it out. We're already up to episode 10 or 11 right now. So I suggest going and see what we got. Anyway, till then, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed, but it's time for us to end off. Good gaming, happy hunting, and I'll see all you Dragonlings back inside the world of the gaming news. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Damian Dragon action. Peace.